Te reo ererangi o te mānia. This episode was produced in Otatahi by Plains Media, with support from New Zealand On Air.
Kia ora and welcome to Emergence News, coming from the Plains Media Studios in Christchurch, the South Island of New Zealand, Aotearoa. It's great to have your company. Welcome aboard. And in the studio today, long-time broadcaster on Plains Media, and we're in the process of finding out just how long, and former restaurateur and house builder is Peter. Welcome to the studio, Peter.
Hi, Nigel. How are you?
Now, are you still building houses? You're still involved. You're supposed to have retired about 12 months ago.
Officially retired, but dragged out of
retirement,
screaming and yelling. But I left my phone number around. So
yeah, you have.
What can I expect?
That's always got me in trouble, leaving my phone number around. The thing that concerns me is if we delve too deeply into Peter's past, we might actually start wondering how old he is. And I'm starting to think you're immortal.
Well, we've got him out. Lily and I got him out of retirement last year. He put our new kitchen in.
That's right.
It's fantastic.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Also in the studio is John. And John, of course, is a media personality on Emergence News. A recent special guest on Mystic Takeaway.
Oh, Alyssa Graf.
Yes.
Can we have a shout out for Alyssa Graf?
Yeah,
the podcast Mystic Takeaways.
Yes, and also she's done a couple of outstanding articles in Share International magazine. That one on Roosevelt and Helena Royrich. What a great story that was.
Yeah, unbelievable. So Alyssa Graf, if you are listening, we are thinking of you.
Yeah.
And good work, mate. Good work.
And just going back to your heavy workload in the media, John, you were involved in a couple of webinars last year.
Was it last year? I forget. There's so many, Nigel. I forget.
Oh, of course.
Did a couple of webinars with Sabina and Dick Larson.
Yes, so that Sabina, she's with Share International Canada.
Yes, where is she?
Edmonton.
Yeah, somewhere where it's cold.
And then Dick was on that program. And who was the other participant? Can you remember? Too long ago for your memory.
Listen, I hurt myself last week. I can't remember anything.
This program, Emergence News. Now, you two were both co-founders of Emergence News too. We must mention that.
Yes.
With Shafir.
Shafir, Vicky McDougall, and you and I, Peter, were the first.
Right,
we started with 4.
You started with 4, yes.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But 3's a great number, isn't it?
I think 3's a magic number, actually.
The power of the triangle, Peter.
It is indeed, yes. It's we miss out on understanding that, I think, a lot of the time.
This program, Emergence News, is available on YouTube, Spotify. That's where you listen to it, isn't it?
Yep.
Apple Podcasts, and a recent addition, a new platform that we're on is Substack. And if you're ever listening to our podcast and you'd like more information about the podcast, jump on Substack and search for Emergence News. On this program, we work hard to keep you updated on the release of new information from the ancient wisdom teachings. And that information first started coming through again in 1875 through Helena Blavatsky, and she co-founded the Theosophical Society. Mm-hmm. And as we mentioned on the last program, there have been other oracles, including Alice Bailey, Helena Royrich, and more recently, Benjamin Creme. And this information, the ancient wisdom teachings, which we refer to frequently on this program, throws greater light, greater understanding on the mysteries of the universe and the true nature of humanity. When I say mysteries of the universe, what do we mean by that, Peter? Well,
there is so much that
we don't understand.
We don't talk about in everyday conversations that. Why is our planet spinning? Why do all planets spin? Why is the moon not spinning? all these sort of questions, and we do have answers for these things. We just need to go in a wee bit deeper than look at the newspaper.
Yeah, we've got to dig a bit deeper.
We need to get off social media, but before we'll learn anything else about the planet. Although, having said that, there is some interesting stuff on social media. I don't want to bag social media completely, but yeah, we need to stop shopping is what we need to do.
We feature author Benjamin Creme frequently on this program, and he was, during his lifetime, able to bring these teachings up to date to show us what is actually happening in the process of the return of the masters to the everyday world. And there are a number working behind the scenes already on the planet.
Interestingly enough, I was going through one of Benjamin Creme's books recently, and he mentioned again that the initiate, who was Abraham Lincoln, is now a 4th degree working in the bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. So, yeah, people and initiates come and go, sometimes quietly, and wouldn't he be an interesting person to talk to?
Well,
The initiate, who's now a 4th degree, who was Abraham Lincoln.
And a 4th degree initiate is almost pure light.
well, that's right. He is, his...
Who are the other 4th degree initiates? Jesus, Krishnamurti.
yeah.
Helena Roerich,
Yep,
Helena Blavatsky.
yep. So 4th degree initiates are heavy lifting. They are heavy lifters,
Yes.
right?
But, they may have a quiet job, like Mozart, 4th degree initiate, was a violin maker
Yep.
That was his lifetime after
after his Mozart, yes.
a quiet lifetime. It's interesting, isn't it? Service orientated.
Yeah.
And just to quote Benjamin Creme, he used to say frequently, and I suspect he said something close to this when you went to his lecture at the town hall here in Christchurch all those years ago, John. He said, "I am not asking you to believe me. I am simply presenting my information to you for your consideration."
The other thing he said which drew me in was, my work is done in the telling.
Of the story.
I'm not here to recruit. It's the telling of the story that is my job.
What you do with the information is your business.
And that to me demonstrated detachment. But also, I was in sales at the time, and it was like, I can use that.
What a great line.
Yeah, I can use that. Just present your story and stand back.
What are you covering on the program today, John?
Okay, I've mentioned many times over Emergence News, the 11 years that we've been running here, Maitreya's hand, the Hand of Maitreya. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, and then I'm going to revisit a couple of quotes in the Course in Miracles. Last program I talked about the Course in Miracles. Possibly, he said cheekily, an update on the teachings of Jesus. I wouldn't want to suggest that, of course, but possibly an update on the teachings of Jesus. And Benjamin Creme has said that it comes from the Master Jesus down through 2 initiates. So, A Course in Miracles.
And Peter, what have you got for us? The scientist in the corner.
Yeah, well, I've got something here called the Divine Science out of Share International, and it's really basically talking about our universe and solar system and that sort of thing, looking at it from a scientific sort of point of view.
This is Emergence News, and welcome to the program. Over to John.
Okay, so I'm holding in my hand Maitreya's hand, and this has been really powerful and important in my life. And when we did public talks, we had these printed out and distributed to people. You can get a copy of Maitreya's hand. It features in some of Benjamin Creme's books, and it also, you can get it off the Share International website. Go onto the Share International website and search the hand or Maitreya's hand, and it'll give you information on how to download it. It is a 3-dimensional photograph of an imprint of Maitreya's hand off a bathroom mirror in Barcelona. On the back, it says, and this is part of one of Maitreya's messages, "I come before you as a simple man. I come as a brother and a friend. I shall return you to your source. I am among you till the end of the age. My love surrounds you always. My heart beats in rhythm with yours. My hand shall guide you and protect you. My love has no bounds. So I'm holding a copy of Maitreya's hand. So here's what Benjamin Creme has to say about it. The photograph shows a miracle of great significance. It is the handprint of Maitreya, manifested on a mirror in Barcelona, Spain. Not a simple handprint. The image is three-dimensional in appearance, similar to the print on the Turin shroud. The image of the hand also has extraordinary healing properties. When you place your hand over it or simply look at it, you are in effect calling forth Maitreya's healing, blessing, or help, whatever is possible within karmic law. The same effect can be produced even with a photocopy of the image. Until he emerges fully and we see his face, this is the closest that Maitreya can come to us. Since July 1977, Maitreya has lived in the Asian community of London, preparing for his open mission in the world. He comes as a modern man concerned with modern problems, not as a religious leader, but as an educator in the broader sense, inspiring the creation of freedom, justice, and peace. His message can be summarised as share and save the world. So I'm holding in front of me a most powerful icon. A lot of his messages, Peter, have that line, take my hand,
Yes.
reach for my hand, I offer you my hand. Yes. And lo and behold, we have this miracle.
I know.
And so I say to listeners, use the hand, take Maitreya's hand. I use it personally very consistently, particularly if I'm not feeling great, particularly if I'm feeling unwell, particularly if I'm injured, and I ask for a healing. Really been a very important part of a tool in my spiritual golf bag, if you like. So Maitreya's hand is there for those that want to reach out.
This is the Emergence News on Plains FM. For more information, go to shareinternational.org.
The other thing I'm going to look at today is I mentioned on our last program A Course in Miracles, and there was a couple of quotes in the Course in Miracles that I found really important for me. So I got introduced to Course in Miracles when I was living in the States, and someone came and talked to me about it. I didn't pick it up. And then later on, some years later, a friend bought me a copy of A Course in Miracles. I didn't pick it up. And then when I was in a very, very difficult part in my life, a friend gave me a copy of The Course in Miracles and said, read this quote. Here's the quote. This is Course in Miracles, page 28. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. And at that point in my life, that was a very important quote. Kind of snapped me out. So from then I picked up the Course in Miracles. I've done the course a couple of times, and I've had a real urge to revisit it for some reason, so I've picked it up again. The final quote that I'm going to talk about today is page 90. And this also became very important for me at a difficult point in my life. And the quote is, I must have decided wrongly because I am not at peace. I made the decision myself, but I can also decide otherwise. I want to decide otherwise because I want to be at peace. I do not feel guilty because the Holy Spirit will undo all the consequences of my wrong decision if I will let Him. I choose to let Him by allowing Him to decide for God, for me. And I think that's a couple of really interesting ideas. I hear echoes of detachment there. I hear echoes of I think one of the past programs we talked about the 12-step program and addiction. And part of that process is giving up your problem to a higher source, realizing you can't handle the problem and therefore giving it up to a higher source. So a couple of interesting quotes from the Course in Miracles, possibly the updated teachings of the Master Jesus, dovetailing nicely with some of the commentary by Maitreya.
That giving up that you just mentioned, do you think that's actually giving up your conditioning, your previous thoughts and beliefs, and actually being open to another point of view?
It's letting go of the ego, Nigel. I think it's offering connection with the soul, but in reaching for connection with the soul, you've got to let go of the ego. And you remember we talked about change. You know, fear of love. Last program I talked about fear of love. Why are we frightened of love? Because it requires change. Why are we frightened of spiritual development? Because you've got to let go of what you know, which is the ego. So there's an interesting synergy between the teachings of Maitreya, the commentary of Benjamin Creme, and A Course in Miracles.
This is Emergence News. Thank you, John. The Course of Miracles. So you've read that, twice now?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to admit, I haven't read that book. I might have to get online and investigate that one.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Peter, you've got the Share International magazine there?
Yes, indeed.
The Divine Science?
That's correct, yes, by Benjamin Creme's master. As we near the beginning of a new era, the thoughts of men turn to the sky and the possibilities which exist for future travel between the planets. Already, instruments probe deep into space, gathering the information which may throw light on the nature of the system in which we live. Men's thoughts turn upward and outwards for the first time. This concern is new for man. Seldom before has his thought reached further than his own hearth, restricting his vision to the vast scope of cosmos which awaits his exploration. At the same time, new discoveries about the nature of life itself are awakening men to the need for an outer expression of the unity which they now know underlies our universe. Already vast sums are spent annually to ensure the success of these explorations, and much dedication and valour contribute to their achievement. Thus we stand today on the verge of an era of new knowledge, broader concepts, wider horizons, and richer experience than aught known before. At precisely such a time has entered the new teacher. His will be the task to enlarge even further those horizons for man, to show that all is interconnected, that we live within a family as brothers, and that each contributes to the well-being of the whole. Thus man will come to sense himself as an integral unit in a vast system which stretches to the stars, as a tiny point of conscious, loving life, without which the universe would be poorer. Thus man will come to see his greatness and his functions in an endless scheme of interrelated points of light and energy and knowledge. The first step is to accept that all is one, that underlying the diversity of forms beats the heart of the one divine life. When mankind grasps this truth, there will emerge a civilization based upon that truth, which will carry man to the feet of divinity itself. From that holy place, man will see the glories, until then hidden from his gaze, and come to know himself as the God he is. A new divine science will become his. Through its means, man will harness the energies of the universe for his diverse needs and transform and beautify this earth. As custodians of this science, we, the masters of wisdom, will reveal its secrets, stage by stage, as man equips itself correctly for its use. Then the gateway to the heavens will open, and man will find himself on a journey without end. The cosmos, near and far, will be the subject of his research. Infinity will beckon him ever onwards and test his valour. A new stream of thought is entering man's lives, which will galvanise them into action. A new creative potency will manifest on all sides, and in gathering momentum, the secrets of life will be discovered and revealed. Man stands now on the threshold of great things. Marvels await his astonished gaze. The limitations of the past will soon lose their hold and free him to explore the cosmos and himself. When man sees the universe and himself as one, all things become possible.
This is Emergence News, and Peter, thank you for that. The divine science. What an exciting future lies ahead of us. The cosmos. Indeed. The planets.
Well, that's right, and it's discovering who we are in relation to this, that we are part of this whole system. There is only one life, and we're part of that one life.
Yeah.
And our relationship with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Peter, you've got something quite special there, haven't you?
The pressure mounts, a fragment, and this is from Share International again.
And it's very topical.
This is by Benjamin Kremsmaster once again. It is the experience of many that the world is speeding up. Events crowd in at such a pace that few can relate or understand them. What is missing is, to the average person, is the ability to take an overall view, to grasp the significance of certain pivotal events and relate these to the world as a whole. Moreover, many lack a sense of inevitability of such events and find themselves shocked and stunned by their apparent random occurrences. They look helplessly on while the drama of world change overwhelms them and fills them with fear. Maitreya has said, "My coming portends change. Likewise, grief at the loss of the old structures. But my friends, the old bottles must be broken. The new wine deserves better. We are witnessing the destruction of all that blocks the way forward for man, that limits his understanding and prevents the expression of his innate divinity. We are watching the formation of new patterns of thought and feeling, new awarenesses, and from these will flow the new forms, the relevant structures with which better to express the hopes and aspirations of men. These are now in the making, the pressure mounts, hence the hectic pace. The next few years are crucial ones in the development of this world. Much depends on the correct response of humanity to the inspiration and guidance of the Christ. If man wills, the transformation in existing structures can proceed quickly and with minimal stress. A glad acceptance of the need for change would ensure that were so. However, not all men see the world in the same light, and for some the needed changes will appear as backward steps, strongly to be opposed. Who then decides? Man himself must decide the speed and scope of change. In this way, free will is not infringed. Gradually, men will come to understand that radical change is inevitable, and the sooner undertaken, the sooner enjoyed.